is QTV Nightly News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. President Barrow officially launched his government's recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023-2027 at a well-attended ceremony at the State House on Friday morning. It is the successor to his government's 2018-2021 National Development Plan. The McGovern Food for Education project, already operating in other African countries, was officially launched in the Gambia on Thursday. The University of the Gambia convened its second orientation ceremony for the newly admitted students of the 2023-2024 academic year. We hear how the Medical Research Council Unit, the Gambia, dedicated decades of research to the success of the new WHO-approved malaria vaccines. In international news, we hear about a unique collaboration between the governments of Nigeria and Germany as part of efforts to curb irregular migration from Africa to Europe. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm Jenna Bosonko. President Barrow officially launched his government's recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023-2027 at a well-attended ceremony at the State House on Friday morning. The plan sets out the government's development objectives. As Alusise witnessed the event, and he now reports.
The recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023-2027, also known as YIRWA, a Mandinka word meaning development, succeeds the 2018-2021 National Development Plan and is the second development plan of President Barrow's government. The development of the plan came as the world is grappling with the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war, which have affected economies, including the Gambia. This recovery-focused NDP seeks to address the recovery needs of the country and provide development partners an avenue to align their support to the country's recovery and medium-term development needs. President Adama Barrow is hopeful that the plan will also help to address the triple development challenges, such as the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, climate change, and the risks of debt distress.
The YIRWA plan is accompanied by a financing strategy that presents an optimistic funding scenario of $3.5 billion and a conservative scenario of $2.8 billion.
The plan sets out the Barrow government's development objectives for governance and institutional reforms, macroeconomic stability and growth, human capital development, agricultural and fisheries development, environmental management, climate change adaptation and mitigation, infrastructural development and connectivity, poverty reduction and resilience building, among others. Speaking further, President Barrow said this will serve as a vehicle for implementing Agenda 2030 and the Africa Union Agenda 2063.
I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the friends of the Gambia who continue to steadfastly stand by us, especially during these challenging times. I immensely thank our bilateral and multilateral partners whose unwavering support has been instrumental in shaping our nation's resilience and progress. As we transition from the formulation process to the implementation phase of this plan, my government will continue to strengthen collaboration and partnership with all stakeholders.
Sidi Keita, the Gambia's Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, said the RFNDP development had undergone highly inclusive and participatory consultation and engagement with all relevant stakeholders at the world, regional and national levels in the country. While acknowledging the immense contributions of development partners towards national development, Minister Keita expects the plan to impact positively on the lives and livelihoods of Gambians.
Given our current economic challenges, including the tight fiscal space and the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, the government is committed to embark on a vigorous resource mobilization campaign to mobilize the required resources for the attainment of the plan's objectives. This will have 4 elements. 1, domestic resource mobilization. 2, multilateral development partners. 3, bilateral donors. And 4, the private sector and philanthropic organizations.
As the plan is launched, The implementation of the recovery-focused National Development Plan will require effective and efficient coordination and collaboration between all stakeholders, including development partners. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The McGovern Food for Education project was officially launched in the Gambia on Thursday. The project aims to reduce hunger and literacy. The McGovern Food for Education project, locally known as Dindengo Lakarango Lekumayata, will improve literacy of school children and increase the use of health, nutrition and dietary practices in targeted communities. The intervention will take place in 186 lower basic schools and early childhood development centers across the country, providing them with healthy hot meals daily. The 5-year project is being managed by the Catholic Relief Services and implemented by Caritas Gambia and the Future in Our Hands the Gambia. Shan Collahand is President and CEO, Catholic Relief Services.
Dinding Ola Karango Le Kumayata project is designed in an integrated manner with programs including school feeding, agriculture, school infrastructure, health, hygiene, and sanitation, and above all, the promotion of internal lending and savings communities within the project zone.
The program provides for the donation of U.S. agricultural commodities. 1,200 metric tons of local agricultural products will be purchased from local farmers to empower them and ensure that the McGovern project is sustainable. Here is the U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, Sharon L. Cromer.
I cannot tell you how thrilled I am that the children are now enjoying nutritious meals from these bountiful supplies. The McGovern Dole USDA program is evidence of the United States' commitment to the Gambia's development. We are here to address food insecurity and improve health, nutrition, and literacy. But neither this program nor any other program that we invest in this country can succeed by our efforts alone.
The project has a water, sanitation and hygiene wash component, which undertakes a holistic approach of both hardware and software aspects to prevent water and sanitation-related diseases in schools and contribute to overall conducive learning environments in 186 project intervening schools. Schools will have hand-washing stations, leveraging on strong school and community structures to ensure good health and hygiene practices. Here is the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Claudiana Cole.
In order to establish a well-managed homegrown school feeding program, the School Feeding Code of Conduct was developed and validated. This was preceded by validation of the cost-benefit analysis and the National Cost Assessment Tool and the design and validation of the homegrown school feeding.
The government of the Gambia has committed to ensure the sustainability of the school feeding program, according to Babukar Boy, the Public Service Minister, who says the project will be in the form of a homegrown school feeding program through internal resource mobilization.
Limited resources, we are seriously challenged in achieving that goal. Nevertheless, we are committed to working with our international partners by providing the enabling environment and regulatory framework for them to thrive. Government is also thinking seriously on how to have a sustainable national school feeding program after foreign investments come to a halt.
The Catholic Relief Services CRS, which was originally established in the USA in 1943 by Catholic bishops to bring humanitarian relief to the deprived and disadvantaged around the world, has been in the Gambia for 6 years, intervening in various sectors of the economy. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basonko. The University of the Gambia convened its second orientation ceremony for the newly admitted students of the 2023-2024 academic year. Lena Igwenyeba was there, and this is her report.
Held at the University Law Faculty in Kanifing, the orientation welcomed undergraduate and graduate students enrolled in various programs, providing essential insights into their academic journey. Professor Herbert Robinson, UTG's Vice-Chancellor, commended the incoming students and noted the significant rise in enrollment for the academic session.
As Vice-Chancellor, I am honored to stand before you, the future leaders of this country,
Each of you will bring a set of aspirations, your own dreams, to the university community. 1,388 applicants applied for various programs. 883 were successful, representing 63.7% of the applicants. Please make good use of your time while at University of the Gambia. Best wishes in your academic journey. This is the beginning. It's a small step. There will be opportunities to develop and grow along the way. Of course, your journey will not be without challenges, but with our support, you will be successful.
Kemo Conte, president of UTGSU, delivered words of encouragement to the freshmen, urging them to persevere throughout their university tenure.
Being a student of university is not just fashionable, but it's a huge challenge. And that challenge, you must get ready to weather its storm, no matter the adversity. So network, connect, and find mentors. Work with them and find the environment quite interesting.
Ajiumi Sonko and Lamin Jawo, both embarking on a political science degree, expressed their enthusiasm and aspirations as they commenced their university journey.
I must say that I'm glad to be here because the orientation has given me so much impact. The only thing I expect to achieve is to be in the valedictorian of the campus and then hopefully coming out with very outstanding results that will take me higher.
It's just a new beginning. Let's say it's another beginning. The orientation was a successful one. I mean, it's going to be very important for me to complete university, having been the Speaker of the Assembly already. I have, an aim or hope of serving the nation, especially the sectors that are to do with children somehow, one day or the other. So I think it will be very important for me as well.
At UTG, students must fulfill specific credit hours requirements tailored to their fields of study and complete designated courses outlined in the course catalogue, including general education requirements, GER, and departmental requirement courses to qualify for graduation. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyipa.
Now, congratulations to the newly admitted students. We will now go for a short commercial break, and when we return, we have more local and international news stories to say.
Modu came in to buy some bathroom floor tile, but once he laid eyes on our basins, he fell in love with a stunning basin and with a breathtaking faucet. With a brand new mirror too, at a bargaining price.
So, I got a bathtub too.
Oh yes, he picked up a bathtub too.
And yes, that's Batimat's Bati Days. Take advantage of exceptional discounts up to 50% on tiles, sanitary, electrical, and lighting. From February 3rd to 17th, you will be splurging. Batimat.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I'm Jennifer Sonko. Now, over 2 years ago, the world witnessed a historic development in medical science when the WHO recommended the rollout of the TRSS vaccine, the first ever malaria vaccine. The long race towards this significant milestone faced several hurdles, including medical researchers worldwide. QTV's Modu Lamin Choi tells us how the Medical Research Council Unit, the Gambia, dedicated decades of research to the success of the new malaria vaccine.
The world is rejoicing at a major breakthrough following nearly 60 years of research for malaria vaccines. Developing a malaria vaccine was a hard nut to crack in the medical field, but the long research journey has delivered results for humanity. Here is the Director General of the World Health Organization announcing the WHO's recommendation for the use of RTSS vaccine in October 2021.
Today is that day, an historic day. Today, WHO is recommending the broad use of the world's first malaria vaccine.
Behind the headlines of this big story are medical scientists and volunteers who have been involved in clinical trials of the vaccine since the 1980s. A major character in the development of the world's first malaria vaccine is right here in the Gambia. MRC Unit the Gambia has been instrumental in the world's quest for a malaria vaccine. In that effort, scientists in the unit have worked alongside with local communities and volunteers to research, develop and roll out the world's first ever malaria vaccine. MRC Unit the Gambia at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine is leading health research in West Africa with the goal of saving lives and improving health across the world. Professor Umberto D'Alessandro, a medical scientist specializing in malaria research since 1990, is the director of the MRC Unit in the Gambia.
So the MRC Unit, the Gambia, had an important role into the development of the vaccine because this is where the first study on in Africa was done of the RTSS by Dr. Khalifa Bojang in Basse, and that formulation of the vaccine was then modified to come up with the current formulation of the vaccine.
At the MRC, researchers conducted clinical trials of the RTSS vaccine on infants and children across the Gambia and other malaria endemic countries, the results of which established the safety and efficacy of the RTSS vaccine, reducing morbidity due to clinical malaria.
So if you look, there have been many vaccine candidates, but very few, actually, only 2, reach the final stage. So every time that you have a candidate vaccine, if it doesn't fulfill certain criteria, then you have to restart from scratch. So the challenge is that it's very long. The quest is very long. Yeah.
In 2022, the world registered 249 million malaria cases, causing more than 600,000 deaths. Africa accounts for 2/3 of malaria cases. Every minute, a child dies of malaria, a daily death toll of more than 1,000. The RTSS vaccine is currently being rolled out across African countries, with Cameroon announced in late January as the first country to benefit. In the Gambia, meanwhile, annual malaria incidents dropped from 149 per 1,000 in 2011 to 44 per 1,000 in 2022. Mahmoud Lamin, QTV News.
Thumbs up to all the researchers involved in that. Now moving on, journalists and media trainers on Thursday expressed optimism about the future of journalism in the Gambia. They were speaking at the review and validation of the Freedom House developed media curriculum. And Sumana Isonyasi was there, and this is his report.
This assessment and validation of this comprehensive document seeks to provide a framework for practicing journalists and media trainers in their line of work. It also aims to provide guidance on addressing regulatory gaps, taking note of new media trends and challenges affecting journalism in the Gambia. Demba Kande, Country Director of Freedom House, says implementation of this document will enhance quality journalism in the Gambia and commends participants for taking part in its review.
There is no journalism without ethics. It's a fundamental principle. It sort of creates, so to speak, the sense of social contract between journalists and the public. And at Freedom House, as well as at PRJ, we're very much committed to ensuring that we provide journalists and our development partners with the requisite knowledge and skills to deliver very high quality and high standard journalism.
Aissatou Keita, media specialist at Freedom House, speaks on what informed the development of the media curriculum document and how it will complement all the regulatory documents such as the GPU Ethics of Journalism and the Chorna Jallow Charter.
Journalism is an everyday process. Things change every day. So we are trying to review this so as to meet with the current realities on the ground, especially in the aspect of digital media, how things have actually evolved. So as things evolve, we also try to make sure that whatever evolves, we are able to go in line with the everyday realities. It's actually a document that is really, really good, and it's promising per se.
Speaking earlier, Banna Sabali, journalism trainer at the Media Academy for Journalism, highlight how the implementation of this document will impact journalism training in the Gambia.
So the review actually is important because the realities have a little bit improved, given the fact that the document does not, at my level, cater for issues around misinformation, disinformation, and fake news issues, which are really a problem in the media. So having the document reviewed and considering ethical issues are things that we should every day remind ourselves as journalists. So putting these key points into the document will actually improve the teaching method and the learning methods, making sure that journalists adhere to these points and also implement it in their day-to-day life, given the fact that we serve a public and we owe it to the public to be truthful and also to ensure that we don't share fake issues, you know.
This media curriculum document features up to 10 modules covering various topics, including the role of journalists in telling the truth, developing self-awareness on key ethical principles, the importance of independent journalism, and digital media, among others. Ansumane Sonyase for KTV News.
From that story by Ansumane Sonyase on media curriculum development, let's take a look at news beyond our borders. In an effort to promote labor migration in Nigeria, the Nigerian government and the government of Germany have opened the first migration resource center on the outskirts of Abuja. Jordan Jai has the rest of that.
The center is part of a strategy to offer information and employment advice to Nigerian youths, many of whom have been making the dangerous journey across the Sahara Desert and then the Atlantic Ocean or the Mediterranean Sea to Europe without securing the registered paperwork to be employed. The Migration Resource Center in Ado, a densely populated area near Nigeria's capital, Abuja, provides counseling, support, and employment advice to Nigerians who intend to migrate to Europe and offers advisory support for Nigerians in Germany and Europe who want to relocate back to Nigeria. Migration is a reality that needs to be shaped so that it can benefit everyone, the people who migrate, the country of origin, and the host community. Germany's development minister told German broadcaster DW that is what this cooperation is all about, making migration successful for Nigeria and Germany. Nigeria's Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Nkiruka Onyejewocha, described the center's inauguration as a significant milestone in the partnership between Nigeria and Germany, adding that Nigeria is looking forward to the promotion of labor exchange with Germany through bilateral labor migration agreements. The German Foundation for International Cooperation, GIZ, which is funded by the German government, has been collaborating with Nigeria on several migration projects. According to Nigeria's Minister of State for Labor and Employment, this has provided individual support to a total of 320,000 people in the areas of employment, grants, counseling, and psychosocial support. Some 37,000 people have gained employment, while about 57,000 people have received startup grants. Nigeria is one of the countries facing challenges of irregular migration to Europe because of poverty, a low standard of living, and insecurity. In addition to Nigeria, Germany has migration and development centers in Egypt, Ghana, Iraq, Morocco, Pakistan, Tunisia, and Jordan. Furthermore, it was announced that for the first time, Germany's ambassador to the Gambia will be based in the Gambia, not Senegal, as has been the case until now. Spain and EU are expected to sign a migration deal with Mauritania as people smuggling rises. It was announced this week that more than 1,000 migrants in 18 boats arrived in Spain's Canary Islands from sub-Saharan countries over the course of 3 days. More than 7,000 people used route between West Africa and Canary Islands last month, up from 500 in January of last year. Last month, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni hosted the Italy-Africa Summit in Rome, where she unveiled a plan to boost development in Africa, with the hope it will curb irregular migrant arrivals and forge a new relationship between Europe and Africa. Meloni's government has also forged controversial deals with individual countries to try to mitigate Italy's migration burden. For QTV News, I am Julde Njai.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's recap our main headlines. President Barrow officially launched his government's recovery-focused National Development Plan 2023-2027 at a well-attended ceremony at the State House on Friday morning. It is the successor to his government's 2018-2021 National Development Plan. The McGovern Food for Education project, already operating in all African countries, was officially launched in the Gambia on Thursday. The University of the Gambia convened its second orientation ceremony for the newly admitted students of the 2023-2024 academic year. We heard how the Medical Research Council Unit the Gambia dedicated decades of research to the success of the new WHO-approved malaria vaccines. In international news, we heard about a unique collaboration between the governments of Nigeria and Germany as part of efforts to curb irregular migration from Africa to Europe. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us tomorrow, same time for more news. Have a good weekend.